Hi, I'm Jessa, and I love teaching math. Let's get started.
Okay, so we're continuing talking about distribution here. So you can look at the playlist to see additional examples, but today, or this video, we're going to do an example of distribution where we have a coefficient in front of the x. So let's do 2x plus 4 times 3x plus 1. So what makes this example different from the ones that I've done previously in this playlist is that there is a number in front of the x. We call these coefficients. Math is like any other topic. A lot of it is just learning vocab, getting comfortable with, what the heck, when someone says a vocab word, do you know what it is they're talking about? And that's the same in English. I still to this day do not know what a participle is. So there are things in the English class that they talk about that I still don't know, but some things I do know, right? I know what a noun is. Okay. So we have this vocab that we are learning in addition to learning the math, and that's in that way very similar to other classes. So what makes this example different, as I say, is that we have these numbers in front of the x terms, and so we have to address how to handle those. So as I've said before, I like to often think of this as an area problem. The problem, or I think the downside to thinking of it as an area, which is when I look at it like this. So I say, I have a box, a rectangle that is length 2x. So let's say it has a smaller length here, which is 2x, and then another length here, which is 4. So the full length of the rectangle is 2x plus 4. It is broken into pieces. And then I have another area here, a length here, and let's call this length 3x and this shorter length of 1. And so when I do this, I end up splitting, I should have done that, I apologize, in a different color. I end up splitting the box, the rectangle, into 4 smaller rectangles, and then I add all of those up. So the larger blue rectangle is equal to the sum of all these smaller rectangles. And that's great, and I think that's a really good way of visualizing it. At some point, we're going to have to move into, not drawing a rectangle every time because it can take a lot of time and be cumbersome. So at some point in your math career, at, whatever level you get to, you may have to stop drawing this box. Maybe not. I guess it depends on your major. Possibly there are some people who won't be taking a lot of math, and so you can just continue to draw the area, and that's perfectly fine. But for a lot of students, they're going to want to get faster. I feel like students are always asking me how to be faster, and so one way to do that is to move past drawing areas every time. But it's a nice way to start. So let's consider, we'll do it with the area again this time. Let's consider these 4 rectangles. So I have the upper right rectangle, the upper left and lower left, and then upper right and lower right. So these are my 4 rectangles that correspond here to what I've drawn. And they have the corresponding lengths, 3x, 1, 2x, and 4. All right, so I'm going to calculate the areas for each of these. So this rectangle in the upper left is going to be 2x times 3x. The rectangle in the lower left is 3x times 4. The rectangle in the upper right is 2x times 1. So anything times 1 is just itself, so just 2x. And then the lower right is 4 times 1, and that will be just 4. So then the most common error I see when we have coefficients, that's these numbers in front of the x terms, is what to do with them. So when we're multiplying like this, let's go ahead and switch to another color. We'll come down here. So we have 2x times 3x. So the way we do this is we multiply the coefficients. So the coefficients are 2 times 3, which is equal to 6. And we multiply the variables. In this case, the variable is x. X times x equals x squared. And then we end up with 6x squared. So we combine the two through multiplication in order to get 6x squared. When we multiply, so that is the area, I apologize to make it clear, that is the area of this upper left rectangle, 6x squared. Then I have my lower left rectangle, 3x times 4. And so we have a 4 and a 3. We have the numbers, but there's only one x term. So in this instance, we just multiply the numbers, the 3 and the 4. 3 times 4, which is equal to 12. And the variable comes along for the ride. So we end up with 12x. Nothing happens to the variable. It's just there. It's coming along. So this lower rectangle is equal to 12x. Now, once we've done that, then we can add everything together again, right? So I have 4 areas, which together equal the entire area of this larger blue rectangle. So the area is equal to 6x squared plus 12x plus 2x plus 4. These components here, they're exactly, except for the numbers, the x values exactly match. There's no square, there's no anything else, it's just x, which means that I can combine them. So I have 6x squared plus 14x plus 4. Now, a word of caution. If you write on your problem at school that this is equal to area, it's going to confuse your teacher if you don't explain to them, if you don't draw the picture. So be clear that when we're solving a problem like this, the correct way of writing the final answer is going to be that, so final, the way you want to write it, is you want to say 2x plus 4 times 3x plus 1 is equal to 6x squared plus 14x plus 4. So this is the way you want to write it. If you have this conversation about area, like I say, if you don't draw it out, your teacher will be confused about why you're introducing area into the conversation. That's a visualization technique, the way you want to write your final answer in order to make things easy for your teacher and also limit the amount of explaining you have to do is in this form here. So keep working with the distribution playlist. Keep watching. There's a few alternate explanations in there as well. And just keep practicing. It will come. If this made sense to you, that's wonderful. And if you need more practice, it's okay. You just need more practice.
If you have extra questions, you can go ahead and post them in the comments, and I'll try to answer as many of those as I can. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to get more help with math and see more of the math content.